favor, raise your right hand. Employment, items number 19, consider and act upon the following employment items in elections: the transfer of Robin Ramirez to the DA's office, and the employment of Kayla Calloway as replacement for Robin. And then Road and Bridge, the transfer of Eddie Esparza, the transfer of Joseph Ray Fausto, the employment of Jeffrey, I don't know how to say his last name, is Niedemo, and the employment of Roy Gomez. Do I have a motion for each one of these?
I so move and approve of the so noted items listed.
Okay, I'll second that. We have a motion and second. All in favor, raise your right hand. On the county projects. Mr. Head.
We're getting a small presentation ready. I've given each one of you a report. Does anyone have any questions off the reports as far as any of the data set? Okay. If not, then what I'd like to do is, I'll do a small presentation with you this morning. On Fire Station 6, you'll have to excuse me, I do not have my glasses real quick. I'm going to kind of start you off on the project, kind of bring you up to speed. Each one of you are more than welcome to come out there at any time, look at the project. Commissioner Bond has been out there with us quite a bit on all of the issues that come up on the project. Commissioner Kelly was in attendance at our pre-con meeting that we had. What you're seeing right here is actually the inside of the building. This is a negative air pressure where we started our abatement project. That was one of the first steps that took place. Notice the red walls and all that. You'll start seeing some changes here in just a moment. This is their admin area. These are two offices located on the west portion of the building. On the north end, that's through the demolition phase. Remember, this is a steel structure with wood framed on the interior. A lot of that will be changing to metal studs. Some of the new plumbing going in on the exterior. One thing that we've done out there on this project is we actually enlarged the restroom to the shower room to give them more room, about 2 foot. These are some of the fire failure apparatus walls that were uncovered with some of the metal that the fire department put up years ago. Of course, you can see you've lost all your insulation factor. This is looking at the west side of the building. This is now looking at the kitchen. We've actually removed more walls than what we originally wanted to. So we're giving them more of an open kitchen atmosphere into their sitting room. This right here is nothing against anybody that worked on this project out there. Through the years, the fire department has done the very best that they could do in order to go in and work on the building, to put trades of work, to construct, things of this nature. These are some of the items I'll be getting into in just a moment that we've run into that constituted an RFP that has went to, or will be going to a change order. Got a 2x4 right there, free floating, not securing anything. This red wall, you remember earlier where you see your decon area set up, this red wall right here eventually was to be covered completely with plywood and metal frame. We've made some changes on that. That whole wall needed to completely come down. That will be one of the RFPs. This is the second floor deck area, the steps that goes up. This was actually a storage area, dry storage area. We've torn the entire separation wall down up there. This right here has also become changeable. You remember the red structure you seen at the very beginning? Look at it right there. That is prior to the painting. We had Palmer Paint come in free of charge, all materials donated. They painted this entire ceiling and metal structure free of charge for the fire department. It's really cleaned it up. Of course, all your perimeter walls will soon be removed. You'll have new insulation. You notice on the walls right now that they do not have plywood or metal studs up. Since last Friday, that has been completed. The plywood is up. They're getting ready to coat it this week. This is the area that I was explaining to you on the second floor elevation, because we had to tear part of it out. There's some of the plywood. This right here runs around the entire perimeter of the fire base. This will give them the opportunity to go through and basically mount anything anywhere they choose to. Okay, I'm getting into the RFPs. What I'd like to do, sorry I did not get these to you earlier. I had computer problems all last week. I'm not going to go through and read each RFP. I'm just going to show you some pictures right here. One of the reasons this room right here, this is part of the kitchen area that we needed to go through and actually do some reconstruction. Does this have a corner, Brandon? No way to do it. Let me see if I can do it here. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay, your studs right here, they should be on 16-inch centers. Some of these studs was 28, 30, 48-inch centers, so you have no support within your walls. The bottom part of that wall, normally you'd use a 2x4, what's called a bottom plate to frame it in. It was 1x. Right there is the what I just mentioned, just the way that it was framed in years ago. The front door area right there, we always had concerns of how the front door was coming open. As you can see, you have no this steel structure right here should come all the way down on each side. So the only thing holding the front door together was a sheetrock screwed to the metal on the exterior of the building.
Mike, why was it built so poorly? I'm just asking.
This is before, some of this is before Pat and him ever got involved. Jack Bivens, I believe, was here at the time, and he
I think some of that we've uncovered is actually the people that had it before we got the building. Because some of it's a lot older looking than what we did.
It's just when we get into a remodel project, it's always critical that, y'all please understand, we're gonna run into these things, we've got to correct them before we can move forward.
I think, and some of it is, some of the things that were done is just, it was the volunteers putting their money together to do it and lack of knowledge of how to do it right.
And to the degree that the court really wasn't backing for years past, and using a lot of tape and mailing wire, and just Pat indicated, just the resourcefulness of a lot of the volunteers.
They would use a lot of the old building materials that we may have had left, you know, through the years off projects in order to help them out. Your two 2x4s, how they're nailed together, that's improper. Here's another good sign at your front door, all the wood rot that was around the doors. Water used to flow through the building, from what I understand.
Road and Bridge fixed our parking lot a couple of.
There is some of the bottom wooden plates. You're looking down at the wall that was the red sheetrock that you seen a while ago. These walls, there's just nothing to support the wall. 2x4s, if you notice right there, they're not even lined up on the outside, they're not anchored. This right here was one of my major concerns up on the second floor deck area. You notice the ceiling joist right here, how the wood is all busted up through here. This area right here where the mouse is going back and forth, that right there is actually a load bearing wall. Okay, ceiling, you got a 13-foot span between this area right here all the way down to the south wall. And you do not use 2x4s for ceiling joists. You use structural timber or metal in order to do it. So what we're having to do here, I will not allow deck to go back up there until it's corrected. We're gonna put in 18 gauge, 6-inch structural grade steel. We will support the upper deck separate than the roof structure that's beneath the ceiling and the sheetrock. That way, the future, if Pat and them ever want to tear those two rooms out, they tear out the 2x4 sheetrock, they screw right to the new support or anchor their sheetrock to the new. And that is the end of the slideshow. What I've given you right there is the current RFPs that we have out there. These RFPs are requests for proposals, what we have presented to the contractors. Late Friday, Pat and I got some costs back. We have reviewed the costs. As I can tell you right now, the contingency set on this project was the $39,618. Off of the known RFPs that have come back, and I've already given approval to go to a change order, we're in the proximity of nearly $12,000 additional out of the contingency that will be spent. The photos that I've given you right there, this relates to item number 3, RFP number 3. Out of the entire project, one thing that we did not look at originally, if the funds are left over, what we would like to do, we want to take care of the necessities, things that has to be done, structural, things like that. But this right here is more of a want. We have the funds left over. What we would like to do is come in and do a complete rehoning of that floor, like you see right here on this epoxy, and put down a product called Stone Hard. This right here is what Bell Helicopter uses it. A lot of the fire stations throughout the state of Texas use it. It gives them a very commercial grade flooring system. So you can see the before pictures and the after pictures of what this product is like. We're currently working with Talon LPE and A1 flooring to obtain that, so that's one of your last big costs that you should have come in.
This is serving to sustain the home going for all those heavy buildings back towards on that floor. It just makes sense that we look at that and move forward. It's going to last it instead of just a little Band-Aid or temporary fix.
Right now, the project's a little over 2 weeks ahead. We'd originally had May the 8th as the completion on it. Once we move forward with these right here, it may push that around some as far as an actual completion date. And then Pat and them will be taking care of we've got a dedication plaque coming into the project for the Commissioner's Court and the fire department.
Mike, when we get closer to the dedication, will you, Judge, I'm not sure if we're physically going to the property and doing the ribbon cutting or anything, but if we are, will you help us stay mindful of Palmer Painting and any of those that are
Yes.
donating so that we can recognize them publicly and maybe we take a certificate or something along those lines? I just don't want that work to go unnoticed, and that may go without saying.
I think our discussion was to get a plaque made specifically for them. Maybe certificates for the other folks that worked
Sure,
on
okay.
it, but something special for Palmer. And from our point of view, we would like for everybody to be there for a dedication, if that's gonna be possible. Yes.
Just tell us when.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
21 executive session, there is no need for that. Jail report, 475 in our jail, 87 female, nobody told us.
How many do you know?
87. Coming down a bit too. Any insurance items, any agenda items for next time?
Just a quick reminder, not the first court in April, but the second, we will be in the Santa Fe Auditorium for Potter County Government Day. So more to come. We'll probably have an agenda item next court with any kind of wrap-up items. So we could probably add that here.
Okay, nothing else, court is adjourned.
Thank you. What a hard stop today. Under her tenure, yes. Under her tenure.
It's a wonder
Yeah, just to say it before.
I saw that, but
You guys definitely,
No.